Hello internet friends, welcome back once again and thanks for joining me. So today what I want to talk to you about is the importance of ambivalence. The importance sometimes of going into a situation without having a strong opinion one way or the other. And we kind of live in a binary society. Most people exist at the far end of a spectrum when most of the things that we really do encounter in the world end up being in that gray spectrum area right in the middle. And I think that it's important to open up this discussion and open up this idea with it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to not have a strong opinion on every single thing that's happening. Most of the time we run into situations that we don't have as much information on, and really taking a hard stance without getting that information is going to put you in a situation that can be embarrassing later, or it can lead you to just being plain wrong in general. And this is sort of the reason that I'm thinking about this, by the way, with the workout. This isn't just some random thing that popped into my mind, but on this particular session that you're watching here, I had 6 sets of 4 at 5:05. I did the first set beltless to prove to myself that I was going to make it through. This particular workout last week, I started it after 10 p.m., so it was pretty late in the day for me. I wasn't feeling all that fantastic. It had been a really long weekend, and I was struggling a little bit to keep going, and I wasn't feeling 100%. I had done most of the things that I needed to prepare myself as I was able to get through the situation, but this topic came into my mind about, I get asked all the time, what is better, an auto-regulated program or a program that's built on percentages and plan progressions and going forward with a much more structured style. And I think that the answer to that is that there isn't a hard and fast answer. Not only has neither approach really been shown to be absolutely superior to the other, and there have been people who have achieved great levels of success with multiple different approaches to that, but the person in general, their personality, their style of motivation, their style of their mental situation and how they process information can be greatly affected by some of those factors. On this particular day, it was better, I feel, for me to have had a more structured plan going in because I didn't feel very great, and had I been regulating heavily, I probably would have lowered the weight or changed the plan a little bit, because my internal feeling, the way that I was going through this session, wasn't lining up exactly with the way that I thought it should be going. But then I watched the video and said, okay, well, they looked fine. And does that mean that for me personally a structured program is always going to be better than regulating? No, not at all. The best, I suppose, situation for me is going to be something where I can have an objective party who can make adjustments for me in the context of having something structured, so that I can know what to generally expect, and I can use different information that's coming in and have adjustments made or be making adjustments based off of that internal feedback. There's a lot of people who will say that a structured plan limits you so that you're not able to get the most out of your training. It's not optimized. Well, that is in a way true. You would say the exact same thing, or the exact opposite thing, when it comes to an overly regulated program, where sometimes you push too much, where the expectation for this session may not be do everything that you can, but you're supposed to leave something in the tank because later down the road you might need that, and you have to factor in things like your fitness versus your fatigue management, recovery. And the bottom line is there isn't one absolute answer to this, and that drives some people absolutely bazonker sandwich. They can't handle the possibility of there being some ambivalence to what they're experiencing. And it reminds me of a quote that's one of my favorite quotes of all time, and it's, follow those who seek the truth and question those who say they've found it. And it really does come with this mental maturity of saying, I may not know all of the answers to everything, and the people that I look up to may not have all of the answers. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should just be spitting out doubt towards those people. And someone, if they've achieved, I would say, an expert status, or a status where their information and their word should be respected, I think that they are owed that respect. But along those lines, that person also owes their craft and their experience and their passion the respect of keeping a somewhat open mind and understanding that most truths are not 100% all the way through. There has to be some level of reasonable doubt to keep seeking that truth. As soon as you start trying to find information that supports your ideas instead of finding ideas that match the information, you run into some dangerous territory where you start to become really biased in your approach. And there's bias in in every single person. There has to be. It's human nature to lean one way or the other based off of what you want the truth to be. And so I guess this is just my appeal to you all this week, to take a step back and to think about life in a little bit more of a spectrum instead of just being one way or the other. It's not some binary system where there is absolute right and absolute wrong. That doesn't mean that you can't have ideals. That doesn't mean you can't have beliefs. That doesn't mean that you can't pursue what you feel is right with utmost passion. But it does mean that your viewpoint, your perspective, and your way of processing the world may not be necessarily more or less valid than someone else's. And it is always a good idea to at least process what you're going to say before you say it to another person. If you decide that some things are worth putting out there, then that's your prerogative, and you can, I encourage you to stand up for what you believe in, but I also encourage you to mature your mentality into understanding that there are things in this world that you do not understand, and there are parts of your perception that other people may not understand. And so it is very difficult to learn and grow when you cut yourself off from that being a potential possibility. If you open yourself up to the idea that you may not know everything about a situation, you then allow yourself to continue growing in your own understanding of that situation. And I think that it is just a generally, again, my personal belief here, you will allow yourself to go further and learn more and grow and keep growing and keep learning and keep developing yourself if you have a more open mentality on learning about what is the truth and seeking that constantly and trying to better your understanding of the world, yourself, and of different topics. So thank you guys for listening and joining me today. Thank you for having an open mind when you come to this channel. I definitely appreciate it. And I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great day. Bye.